I am going to give you a 5 step formula for trading success. This is the formula that I used to build the Six Figure Trader. This is the kind of thinking that went into our setup. So, this formula would work for any trading business, anybody that's looking to build out a successful market strategy. This will work. And so, you may ask yourself some questions. Well, Joe, why would I even want to trade the stock market? Or, why would I want to take on this undertaking of learning? Well, first of all, it can create a secondary income. It can really give you a set of certainties. When you understand the strategies, then you just go to the market like going to your ATM machine and you pull out the money that you need. And it's not an easy skill set to learn, but it's not impossible. You can learn it just like you're just like you've learned everything else in your life. You put work into it, you put effort into it, and you can get there. And so here's our formula. First of all, you've got to understand market structure. And market structure is made up of price, trend, and momentum. My mentor used to call consolidation areas homes, and this is where the market's kind of appearing to move sideways. And, when it breaks out of this home and it starts trending, that's the price swings. And, that's really where you want to get in and start making, your profits. And obviously, you're looking at the homes, the connections between each home. You're looking at those price swings, and you're looking at the size of those price swings. And so when you understand the market structure, this is the language of the market. And too often people come into the stock market, they come in to try to invest, and they get chewed up and spit out because they jump straight to a trade strategy when they absolutely know nothing about the market structure. They may see an advertisement for trading the market. Hey, this guy's got this strategy and this guy's got that strategy, and you come in with this strategy in mind and you start trading these setups, but you have no understanding of market structure. And this is why it fizzles out. This is why you can't make no money, because you're trying to build a trading strategy on top of not understanding market structure. You see, you want to understand market structure, and then you want to build a trading strategy. And so the trade setups, in the Six Figure Trader, we have 6 minors and 2 majors. And the 6 minors, I'm going to show you here in a second how we built those. Those are very creatively done to help investors to get in and maximize their profits. And then obviously, once you have your trade set up, you've got to have an entry trigger that's independent of your trade setup. Well, what does that mean, Joe? Well, you've got your trade set up and you identify that in your chart. The markets never repeat exactly, but it does rhyme. And we do see repeatable patterns over and over and over. And those patterns have been repeating for decades. And our system allows you to easily identify them and jump in. Now, the entry trigger is once you have identified the trade setup and the actual setup is starting to work, then that's when you employ your entry trigger. Your entry trigger goes into effect. You get into the trade at the best possible price. And then obviously you've got your risk point. This is how much money you're actually going to risk to actually ascertain the actual profit. So, William O'Neill, he published Investor's Business Daily since the 80s. Very smart investor. You can go to his website, Investor Business Daily, and you can use it for all kinds of informational resources. But he said his risk point was about 7% on a stock, meaning that too many investors will throw money into a stock and they hope and they pray they made the right decision, but that stock often will tumble. Somebody will give you the best, breakthrough medical technology or some kind of scientific breakthrough on, the internet. And, we just throw our money into those things and not even think. And then when it doesn't work, it just kind of falls down, and, stocks can go down and never come back. That's why you want to have a risk point. And, for William O'Neill, it was 7%. Me, it's about 8. I will lose 8% and then I'm bailing. I'm getting out. And way too many investors will jump into a stock because their friend recommended it. A stock like Tesla, which Tesla has done well, but there's not very many Teslas out there like that. And then that stock will do terrible, and they'll stay in it, and they'll stay in it, and they'll stay in it, and literally miss all kinds of opportunities when they could have just took their small loss, got out, and then actually got into other winning trades. But trading the stock market is way different than the way that we were all taught to, achieve success. When we were growing up, hey, work hard, and if you mess up and you fail, just work harder and make it up. Well, when you are trading the market and you invest your money and it loses, you need to cut your losses and be done. You were wrong. You made a wrong decision. That was a terrible investment. Cut your losses and be done. And see, when we come to the market and we try to build a trade strategy and go straight to the setup, see, we don't understand that. That's why market structure is so important, because in market structure, you understand that small losses are okay. It's a necessary ends to a mean. You've got to have the losses, so you go through the trades, you sort out the ones that's terrible, and you get to the ones that's really the winners. And those really big winners are the ones that make it all worth it. And then you got to have a trade exit. Okay, what's your target? What is it that we're putting on this chart, and we're saying when this trade gets here, what we're getting out, and we base that on a basically scientific formula, saying this is where the market, this is how much this particular stock or this particular position will move on average. This is where we're going to take our trade exit. So it's engineered, so to speak. And so this all equals up to be a profitable trader. And the reason that a lot of traders are not profitable, a lot of investors, simply because they do not follow this 5-step formula. So let's take a look at the 3 categories of a trade. You've got the brand new trend, trading within the trend, and trading against the trend. This is where you're actually getting into the market. This is where you're actually implementing, the trade setup. And we already understand market structure. Well, you don't, but I do. And we're going to pretend like you basically do. And now we're going to talk about trade setups. And here's where that would begin. We would start looking at these various places. Okay, where do we get into the market? Well, first and foremost, you have what's called the brand new trend, and you're getting in just about before anybody else. This gives you the maximum flexibility, so you may want to take your profits and get out. You may want to ride this trend for a long time. This has the highest risk to reward, and this is where you're in that range, you're in that congestion area, and this is what my mentor used to call the home. Price has found its home where buyers and sellers actually agree that this is the fair market value of this particular stock or fund. And so then an imbalance comes into play and prices trend in one direction or another, and this is where we make our money as investors. And so then you have the trading within the trend. This is where we try to capture the move after it's already started. This is for the person that says, hey, I want to know 100% that trend's already underway, that it's moving in the right direction before I get in. And so a person will see that the trend's developing. They'll jump in these different places. And usually they'll get in single swings about like this because they want to get into the trade. And it's kind of hard to hold for long periods of time because, you're riding this up and it starts coming back. Well, you don't know it's going to do all this, so you typically will sell and close your position once you start actually giving some of those profits back. And so, it's okay to stay in and give a little bit of profits back, because your traders that do this successfully, they make a very, very good living. Some of them make up into the millions of dollars trading the market, just like I'm showing you. And so this is trying to capture the move after it's already underway. And you like I said, you really can't hold this for a long period of time. And then you have reversal trading. This is what a lot of new traders actually are tempted to do. Call the top, call the bottom, and jump in. And I'll have you know that a lot of experienced financial advisors can't even call the top and bottom. And so this requires the highest level of skill to be able to call the top and bottom. And you know what? We a lot of times make this so much harder than it has to be. Speaking of a financial advisor, I was a financial advisor for 15 years. When I came into trading, I overcomplicated it so bad that I literally blew account up after another. I probably lost $250,000 before I finally slapped myself and said, okay, that's enough. And finally broke down and started, really educating myself. I had to hire a personal coach and really just get me out of the ditch. And I had to tell him, look, don't be nice to me. I don't want it sugar-coated. Tell me the truth and tell me what to do. And boy, he did. He literally laid me open a few times. But it was just that stupid thinking I had that was overcomplicating everything. And so trying to take these reversals require the highest level of skill. And so as a beginner, you don't want to be messing around here. And, once you figure this out and how to do this, yeah, you can have a high percentage of winners. So, really trying to counter trade the trend is too difficult for most people. So we just kind of mark that out. Trend trading is the most common way that most people try. Most strategies are built away, trend continuation strategies. But like I said, this is hard to hold psychologically sometimes because you don't have a lot of profits and you don't know that the trend's going to go for a really long time. And most of the time, the trend's going to go a lot longer than what most people anticipate. So we mark that out. And we give this one a big old check mark. Brand new trend. This is where we want to get in. And by the way, my six-figure trader program is built and designed for this very thing. This is where 6 of our moves, our 6 minor setups, this is where they occur. We've got this sideways movement in the market. Then we have price actually gaining some momentum. So there's orders coming in, institutions are coming in, and we have our setup identify this as the breakout, and we're able to get into the trend. Now we use a very specific type of scanning that actually scans and finds that momentum. We look for that dead market, and then we have very specific rules that identify the actual move out of this range or out of this home. And that's our six-figure trader. That's our 6 minor moves. Now we have 2 majors. That's very similar, but that is more for the reversal. And so we have 2 strategies that really, really hit this reversal square in the eyes, and we're able to jump in and really get some big profits right here. But our 6 minors, really, this is where we are getting in at the beginning of a trend. So this is phenomenal. This is great. This is where we want to get in because this allows us to ride this all the way up if we wish, or we can take our profits here. We can take our profits here at 2 times risk, 4 times risk, 5 times risk. And so usually we'll get a little bit more pop here on a reversal when you time it right. You'll usually get 5 to 10 times risk to reward. And so our system is, like I said, made up of 6 minors to get you in at the beginning of the trend and 2 majors that get you in at the reversal. So I just want to say thanks for watching. I wanted to bring this up that we have an in-person live training class coming up on October 6th and October 7th. So right here is our online training center. You have immediate access. If you register and you get into our system, you can jump in. You can go to level 1, 2, and 3 and literally consume this information. Then show up at our class. Show up and spend 2 days with me in a classroom where we really paint this all out and we really, really get your questions answered and get you really, we put this tool in your hand where you can actually start building your legacy. You can start building your freedom because, when you got a business, I enjoyed being a financial advisor, but I did get burned out. I got concerned at times about, compliance. I got concerned about regulation changing, and I was very concerned that, one of my clients, God forbid, one of them get dementia, flip out and their kids flip out. Next thing you know, I'm sued, losing my whole nest egg that I built. And, I basically, had to do seminars left and right. It just really got old spending my evenings tied up with retirees and then seeing retirees all day. It just burnt me out. And so trading, now I get up, I day trade in the mornings. I use my swing trading program that I'm offering here to you. This is our 6-figure trader. I throw that, put those trades on, and man, I generate plenty of money just like I did back when I was running my financial shop. But guess what? I have no employees. I have no responsibilities. I have no reason to get out of bed if I don't want to. I can come in here and set my trades at night, and they literally trigger the next day when the market opens. And that's the 6-figure trader. We don't teach day trading in this class, but I do day trade. Love it. I love trading the market because it gives me that ultimate freedom. That freedom to jump on a plane, go to Hawaii, trade the market on the beach, go to Europe, trade the market, setting at my hotel or resort. And that's just that. That's what trading and investing can do. If you're doing it right, it can liberate you. It can give you a life of freedom. Business is great. Having a business is great. But you got all that other to deal with, people, products, all that mess. And I love it. I don't get me wrong. I love business. And this is my 9th business that I've built. I love helping people succeed. And this is probably one of the most dear things to my heart that I'm the most passionate about, is helping people with this, because once I turn you onto this and once you get this in your hands, you literally can master it, and you literally can then really carve your own way. Being a financial advisor, I was very limited. I had balls and chains around me, and they were compliance officers and just a lot of different things. And then I had the evenings every seemed like twice a week, and you know how it is. You got all the people working for you, and you're running a big adult daycare basically, and it gets old after a while. But don't get me wrong, I love business, but I love trading. And there's an easier way, and I found it. It's right here. So the cool thing is, you can run your financial business, you can run your doctor's office, you can run your law firm, you can run whatever business you want and still be a 6-figure trader, and literally put your trades on and in the middle of the night if you want, and go to bed and let the trades work out. So anyhow, I've said enough. That's a little bit behind the scenes. That's my 5-step formula for how I built all of our trade setups. And basically, I showed you the trend and the different places that traders will trade, and I showed you how we kind of developed the 6 minors and 2 majors for those areas. So anyway, if you want to jump on a call with me, I'd be happy to help. Very passionate about what I'm doing, and don't mind to answer questions and have a conversation. So have a great evening. Talk to you later.